Wally Meyer of Shur-Gain, with a word to poultrymen about good feeding practices. Here we are, about 24 hours after hatching, a critical time for baby chicks, and the most important factor right now is the right feed. And there is the right feed. Shur-Gain Chick Starter, a feed that contains the right energy levels and all the nutrients required to start those chicks properly on the road to becoming profitable layers. 4 weeks later, they're off to a good start on Shur-Gain Chick Starter, and they'll soon be on one of the Shur-Gain pullet growing programs. Whatever suits your needs, high cal or low cal, plain or medicated, all mash or mash scratch, Shur-Gain Chick Starter and growing feeds will raise pullets capable of the maximum production for which they were bred. Talk over your poultry feeding program with your local Shur-Gain feed service mill operator. This is Wally Meyer of the Shur-Gain Nutrition Department with a word to hog raisers. Here's something a hog raiser likes to see: healthy, well-developed weaners. More and heavier pigs at weaning time are what you hog raisers want. And there's a feed that will help you get those heavier weaners: Shur-Gain Creep Feed for pigs. We say you get an extra weaner when you feed Shur-Gain Creep Feed, because we figure it amounts to an extra pig if you get heavier weaning weights on the piglets you do have. And you will with Shur-Gain Creep Feed for pigs. Shur-Gain Creep Feed for pigs is specially formulated to be palatable. Baby pigs really go for it. Whether you're breeding or feeding hogs, for low-cost, efficient gains and thriving, healthy hogs, follow the Shur-Gain 6-step hog feeding plan. Get full details on the new Shur-Gain Creep Feed for pigs and the Shur-Gain 6-step hog feeding plan from your local Shur-Gain feed service mill. Wally Meyer of Shur-Gain with a suggestion to dairymen. There's one way of feeding a calf, the whole milk way. But there's a new and better way, a way that means far more profit for the dairyman: Shur-Gain Milk Replacer. One 25-pound bag of Shur-Gain Milk Replacer will do the same or better feeding job as 250 pounds of whole milk. Shur-Gain Milk Replacer has all the vital properties of cow's milk, and we can even say it is better than cow's milk in an important way. It's medicated, and this medication protects the calf against setbacks. The incidence of scours is greatly reduced. Even if you get as little as $1.75 a hundredweight for your milk, you're money ahead feeding Shur-Gain Milk Replacer. 250 pounds of whole milk are replaced by one 25-pound bag of Milk Replacer. Get full details about Shur-Gain Milk Replacer and the complete Shur-Gain dairy feeding program from your local Shur-Gain feed service mill. You're looking at a prominent Canadian poultryman, Mr. Don Ells. And that's me, Wally Meyer. I'm Chief Nutritionist with Shur-Gain Feeds. Mr. Ells and I are at the Shur-Gain farm near Maple, Ontario. Mr. Ells has over 100,000 birds like this on his farm, C&M Ells Limited, near Port Williams, Nova Scotia. And with that many birds, he's vitally interested in production costs. He wants maximum production with the lowest cost per dozen eggs, and that's what he gets. He's a Shur-Gain feeder. John Martins of Morris, Manitoba feeds Shur-Gain too. So does Noel Cordeau of St. Charles, Quebec, and Gordon Hunsberger of West Montrose, Ontario. No matter what class of livestock or poultry you feed, you get low-cost, efficient production with Shur-Gain feeds. You're looking at a well-known Canadian beef man. His name is Jerris Moss. And that's me, Wally Meyer. I'm Chief Nutritionist with Shur-Gain. Mr. Moss and I are at the Shur-Gain demonstration farm near Maple, Ontario. Mr. Moss has a large herd of animals like this on his own farm near Paris, Ontario. Naturally, it's mighty important to Mr. Moss that he keep production costs down, that he get maximum gain on the lowest amount of feed. And that's what he gets. He's a Shur-Gain feeder. Mr. Ernest Himmelman of Lunenburg County, Nova Scotia, also feeds Shur-Gain. So do Lorne Thompson and Jim Taylor of the Medicine Hat Feeding Company in Alberta. and Chester Warner of Lennoxville, Quebec. No matter what class of livestock or poultry you feed, you get low-cost, efficient production
with Shur-Gain feeds.